Okay, guys, so we talked about Pete Hegseth for a second, and we had a chance to talk about Pam Bondi. So I feel, in 1 second, I feel though as though Pam Bondi didn't understand what she was getting into, and we are gonna bring her in as we talk about Christy Noam and Pete Hegseth. But what I want you guys to see here is I honestly want to just give Pam Bondi some grace because I don't think she understood what she was getting into. Because if you see the Pam Bondi when she first came out, I think she thought it was going to be a great job and she was going to be able to project justice, this, that, and the third. And I feel like you can see a change in her. Look at the first Pam versus after she said what she said once she realized she's not supposed to talk about anything that is going on in the administration. And watch how she learned from Sarah Huckabee Sanders how to shut up and just say, "You're dumb. We're doing the right thing." Watch her now. Give me a second. Watch her now versus then.
CPAC with Ben and with Ted Cruz. And one of the things that you alluded to, and this is something Donald Trump has talked about, that DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So have you seen anything that...
Okay, so you saw that chippery, young, beautiful, vibrant. She's ready to, get the job done. Watch what happens once she's done this, because without her saying that, there would be no Epstein case the way it is. If she wouldn't have said that she had the files, we wouldn't have been so thirsty for him. So she hung him out to dry, essentially. So watch him make her own that shit, because this wouldn't exist if her ass hadn't have said shit. So watch her have to turn, watch who she turns into once she realizes what she's done, and watch him, throw her on Front Street and make her own up for it as he sits there and say, "Bitch, you answer. You said it. I'm not saying anything." And then watch how differently she behaves when you ask her a question versus that first Pam we saw. You let me know how you feel about that.
And released yesterday on Jeffrey Epstein, it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for an American or foreign intelligence agency. The former Labor Secretary, who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Costa, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the stabbing?
Yeah, sure. If I
Pam, could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just...
Reid Hoffman.
So who gave the order to flag records related to President Trump?
To flag records for President Trump?
To flag any records which included his name.
I'm not going to discuss anything about that with you, Senator.
Eventually, you're going to have to answer for your conduct in this. And you won't do it today, but eventually you will. I yield, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so now that we've had a chance to see the differences between her, we're going to break down to where she is now and how individuals change. We're going to jump into J.D. Vance. Of course, we're going to go on to Stephen Miller and Steve Bannon. But I want you guys to see first, because she is our head of the Department of Justice, and she's not supposed to bend to him. She's not supposed to obey him and or block anything for him. But you saw with your own eyes the change in her behavior as things are getting closer to what she's supposed to be releasing, and she's acting like it's our fault or our problem for asking, or the person who's asking, they're an issue. We'll get into it, but you saw it for yourself. I'm mad because you guys, I'm not in my studio and I'm trying to do this myself, so I can't make it pretty for you guys and have all the clips and the graphs and all that kind of stuff. But hopefully you'll get where we're going with this. We're going to keep going, but we're going to jump into Pete Hegseth next, and then Chrissy Noem just had a. Let me stop. We're going to go on to the next. I hope this made some sense. We're going to keep talking.